Hey y'all, welcome back to Rooster's Recipe. Okay, so you're gonna dice up about 7 or 8 red potatoes, and then you want to take 1 can of cream of chicken soup. If you don't have a big can like this, you can just use 2 of the 10.5 ounce cans, and that will work perfectly fine. We are creating the mixture that will go over the pork chops, so go ahead and pour this in a mixing bowl. Add your onion powder in. I never really measure, I measure with love, so we're just going to sprinkle some in like that. You're gonna add 1 whole packet of ranch seasoning, dump that in there, and then next you are going to dump in 1 cup of milk. And then you're gonna take all of those ingredients and mix them up really, really well and get ready to pour them over the pork chops and potatoes. All right, so go ahead and grab some non-stick cooking spray, and we're gonna spray that really good all in our crock pot, and then we're gonna add in our potatoes first. Okay, so after you add some salt and pepper, go ahead and add a family-size package of pork chops to your crock pot. This will be about 6 to 8 pork chops depending on where you buy them from. I get mine from Walmart. And then you're going to take that mixture that we just created and pour it right over top of your pork chops and your potatoes. And then that is literally all you do, my friends. It's a complete dump and go meal. You will cook this on high for about 3 to 4 hours, or you can cook it on low for 7 to 8 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and set it on high, and then I'm going to come back and check on it and show you what it looks like. All right, so it's been about 4 hours, and this is what the pork chops and potatoes and that mixture looks like. Super, super yummy. Now, on this recipe, you're actually supposed to shred up the pork chops, which is weird to me because I've never eaten pork chops shredded up, but I will say that we like to eat it without shredding it up. Look how delicious those potatoes look, and my kids love this, so it's super family friendly as well. All right, and here it is all plated up, and if you don't like paper plates, sorry, not sorry. This is not the Food Network, this is real life. Okay, so for this recipe, just go ahead and take about 4 chicken breasts and stick it in your crock pot. You can use a little less if you have a smaller family. And then you're gonna take 1 can of cream of chicken and pour it in a mixing bowl. We're gonna make a little mixture to go over top of this. Then you're gonna add about a half a cup of milk, 1 large teaspoon or tablespoon of minced garlic, whichever you choose. Add a little bit of salt and pepper, and then you want to stir this mixture together really well. Okay, so next we're gonna come back over to our crock pot and add some ham. I am using a little bit of thicker ham. It's left over from a potluck that we went to over the weekend, and I did not want to waste it. So definitely use something like this if you can, but you can use any kind of ham you like, and then just add some classic Swiss cheese over top of the ham, just enough to cover up the entire crock pot. Okay, so I ended up using the whole package of Swiss cheese. That's fine though, we love cheese around here. You're gonna take your mixture that we just created, and we are going to pour it over top of the chicken and cheese, and we are going to spread it evenly. Next up, take some cornbread stuffing mix. You can use any kind you like. You can use chicken, and just pour that over the top of this mixture as well. And then you're also going to take 8 tablespoons of butter or a whole stick of butter, melt it, and then pour it over that entire mixture. And then you want to cook it on low for about 5 hours, and this is what it turns out looking like. Absolutely so delicious, so easy, and this is another kid-friendly recipe. Both of my girls like this, and one of my girls is a very picky eater, so it's very surprising when she likes anything in our house. So just saying, try this with your kids. I'm sure they'll love it, and you will love it as well. And it's super easy. It's just one of those old-timey comfort foods that everyone loves. So today I'm using my 8-quart crock pot, and I'm going to first start off by adding 1/2 of a jar of 3 cheese pasta sauce. You can use any kind of pasta sauce you want, but I'm going to line the bottom of my crock pot with about half of the jar. And then spread the sauce out on the bottom as even as possible. And then you are going to go ahead and take a whole bag of meatballs, usually about 26 ounces. You can get this from any grocery store, and you're going to layer it on top of your pasta sauce, as you see I'm doing here. And then you want to come back in and add the rest of your pasta sauce. I'm telling you guys, you will never want to eat spaghetti and meatballs again without making it this way. This is the best spaghetti and meatballs I have ever made. And then go ahead and just spread that out as even as possible as well. Next, you may be surprised by this, but we are going to add in 4 cups of water over top of this mixture. Alright, I'm going to take about a tablespoon of minced garlic and add it to the crock pot. And then I'm going to take some basil and just sprinkle it over. You guys know with most spices, I do not measure. I measure with love. I got that phrase from my friend Jessie Christine. And then I'm going to add in 1 packet of this Italian salad dressing mix into the crock pot. Okay, then you want to mix that up just a little bit, and then we will be ready to add in our spaghetti noodles. And no, you do not have to boil them first. You just dump and go. And I'm using these spaghetti noodles this day, but usually I like to use the ones that are already broken in half. You can get them from pretty much any store, the pot-sized noodles. But you want to lay them across just like so. That way they are able to cook evenly. Okay, pour a little bit of olive oil into your crock pot like I just did, and then go ahead and just give it a slight little mix, not a full mix, but you see what I'm doing here, just to kind of spread things out a little bit. So that is all you have to do. Dump and go with this recipe. It is as simple as that, and I can't believe how delicious it is. You are going to cook it on low for 2.5 hours. Yes, that's what I said. 2.5 hours on low, that is all. And then when you come back and check on it, it will be good and ready to serve. All right, so it should be all done. We are going to check on it right now and take a look at it and see how delicious it looks. It honestly looks just like the kind that you get out of a can, but way better. Like way better, and it's a little bit thicker. So highly recommend trying this recipe. I like to top mine with a little grated or Parmesan cheese. Parmesan is usually better, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so this is an absolute favorite among so many people in my family. My father-in-law especially loves this recipe, but you're going to go ahead and add some chicken breast to your crock pot, about 1.5 pounds, and then these are the ingredients you're going to use that I have laid out here, but of course I'm going to show you how to make it. Okay, so I like to start off by adding some good old nature seasoning to my chicken breast. And then also we're going to sprinkle some garlic powder over top of the chicken breast. And you guys know I never measure. Let me know down below in the comments if you do the same thing. Do you measure with love, or do you measure with a teaspoon? And then let's go ahead and add some onion powder as well. And then we're going to go ahead and add 2 cans of cream of chicken soup. You guys know I love Campbell's, but I only have Great Value on hand right now. I love Great Value anything brand, to be honest with you. I just prefer to go with Campbell's when I'm cooking, but you could not tell the difference in the chicken and dumpling recipe, so that was wonderful. Then you're going to go ahead and take 1 can of chicken broth and add that on top of everything you've put in your crock pot thus far. Alright, so that's all that you add to the crock pot. Dump and go. Once again, you are going to mix this all together. pop the top on that crock pot and cook it on high for 4 hours. Okay, so about 45 minutes before your chicken and dumplings are done, you're gonna come in and add 1 can of biscuits. Now, as you could see beforehand, I came in about 3 hours through and I started shredding my chicken a little bit, and I advise you to do that as well. But you're gonna break your biscuit pieces up, and I would just kind of layer them on top. Do not push them down yet. Let them cook for about 45 minutes and then come back in, and then you're gonna kind of push them down a little bit more into the mixture. That way you make sure the biscuits are cooked thoroughly, and then you will be all done after they have cooked for a few more minutes. You'll just have to kind of play it by ear, but this is such a staple in our household. We make it so many times during the fall and winter, and sometimes we even make it in the summer. That's how good this chicken and dumpling recipe is. All right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this video.
Give us a thumbs up, hit that little red subscribe button. Until next time,
Bye.